Cross-examination.
Good afternoon, Mr. Depp.
Good afternoon, Mr. Roddenborn.
I'm happy that in the last little bit we've gotten to the reason why we're here, and I'd like to start with that. If you could please pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit 2, Michelle. Next page. And Your Honor, I believe this is either in evidence or has been stipulated as part of the opening.
I assume no objection to 2.
No objection, Your Honor.
Okay.
Permission to publish?
Yes, sir.
This article, this opinion piece in the middle of the page there, Mr. Depp, this is the opinion piece that Amber Heard wrote in the Washington Post that was published on December 18th, 2018, correct?
Doesn't that say December 19th on it? At the top of the page, doesn't that say December 19th, 2018?
Go ahead and blow that
I
up,
believe that the
Michelle.
2018 was the online, was it not?
Okay, so December 18th, December 19th, this piece in the middle of the page is the opinion piece Ms. Heard wrote, right?
Could you make it a little bigger? My eyes
Sure.
are getting smaller.
And this is what you're suing her over, correct?
I'm suing her over defamation and the various falsities that she used to bring my life to an end.
And you understand, Mr.
Many
Depp,
things.
you understand, Mr. Depp, that you cannot, you are not suing her for any damage, alleged damage, or any accusations she made prior to writing this article. You're aware of that. You'd agree with that, right?
Could you say that again, Mr. Rottenborn?
You are not bringing a lawsuit against her, bringing her into court in Virginia for anything that she did prior to writing this article, correct? You know that you can't do that, right?
I have to say that I, as I said at the top of this, I've never seen this version of the op-ed piece. The version that I saw was the other one that I identified that was on the 18th. This is on the 19th. I believe the 18th
In 2 years
quite
before,
possibly, sorry, was quite possibly, maybe that was the online version that came out first.
2 years before
there's a
either the
very
online or the
different-
print.
I'm sorry, I was just
No,
going
I
to
think
finish my
you answered
answer.
my question, sir. Thank you.
Oh,
2 years before the online and the print version came out, in 2016, Amber obtained a domestic violence restraining order against you from a California court, correct?
yes, sir.
And in obtaining that domestic violence restraining order in May 2016, she accused you of domestic abuse, right?
Yes, sir.
And Michelle, if you could blow up the third paragraph down, please.
All right, now this cross-examination is going to be interesting. You can see the attorney, Benjamin Rottenborn, for Amber Heard beginning to sort of hone in on the real issues in the case. It's going to be very, very interesting. We're going to take a break, get you right back into the courtroom. You won't miss a thing. Keep it right here on Court TV.
From Copperfit.
and welcome back to Court TV Live. I'm Michael Ayala. We continue our coverage of the dueling defamation suits. Johnny Depp has been on the stand now for the better part of a day and a half. But now cross-examination begins. The easy part is over. His attorney has been leading him through a number of incidents. He's proclaimed his innocence, but now he's going to face cross-examination. So let's get right back into that courtroom for the continued cross-examination by Benjamin Rotterborn.
And in the opinion piece that's before you, published in the Washington Post, she wrote, "Then 2 years ago, I became a public figure representing domestic abuse." Correct?
I can't say correct. She wrote it.
And the
Or
piece
somebody did.
doesn't contain your name, correct?
No, it does not, no.
And other than mentioning the fact of abuse accusations that were made 2 years prior to the publication of this article, the opinion piece doesn't contain any details of your time together, correct?
Oh, I think that her, I think it's very easy to write a piece and put the finger on someone without saying their name. There are sneaky ways of writing things. And as I've seen also what the ACLU and their team had to say, they clearly described to Ms. Heard that...
I'll move to strike this as hearsay, Your Honor.
All right, I'll do that. Next,
And I appreciate...
Sorry, it's evidence.
Sorry.
Next question, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Depp, I appreciate you've gotten a lot of chance to talk, and I'm trying to be respectful of the court's time and the jury's time. So I'm going to ask you that question again, because I think it's a pretty simple yes or no question, which is...
You'd like it to be, sir. Nothing simple in this case.
Other than mentioning the fact of abuse accusations made 2 years prior, this opinion piece does not contain any details of your time together. Yes or no?
It contains fragments. This piece here, I don't know, is this word for word with the other piece?
And the article discusses proposed legislation, which you just talked about, correct? You'd agree with that, right?
Yes, yeah.
And it discusses Amber's experiences after she had separated from you. You'd agree with that, right?
2 years ago, I became the public face for domestic violence. 2018, 2016, it seemed to me that the puzzle was going to work no matter your angle, sir.
Okay, so I'll take that response as a no, that this piece does not discuss, this piece does not discuss anything prior to Ms. Heard separating from you, and it only discusses her experiences, her biographical experiences after she separated from you. Correct?
I can't say that.
Okay. Now you're claiming that due to Amber's allegations of abuse, you can't be in Pirates 6, correct?
I'm saying that after everything had basically hit its media targets, and the hit pieces kept coming, it would be, I mean, I would be a real simpleton to not think that there was an effect on my career based on Ms. Heard's words, whether they mention my name or not.
You became aware prior to the publication of this op-ed that you were likely out for Pirates 6, that Disney was considering dropping or dramatically shrinking your role, correct?
No.
Can you pull up Defense Exhibit 113, please? Let's go to 114, please.
Are you changing on me?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Your Honor, but it's the next one, so it's...
Okay, 114? All right.
sorry, one more. Let's 115, please.
115.
It's 25th of October, 2018. Hi, you're gonna roam.
Mr. Depp, do you see...
Personal dramas, yes.
Sorry.
Do you have the question, Mr. Rodman?
I did. I was just giving him time to read. Do you see the date of this article beneath those bullet points is October 25th, 2018? Do you see that?
Yes, I do.
And do you see that the headline, Hide the Rum, Johnny Depp is out
Objection, Your
as
Honor.
Jack
This is
Sparrow
hearsay.
in Disney's Pirates of the Caribbean?
Sorry. Yes,
Objection, hearsay.
hearsay objection.
I was asking if he became aware. I'm not offering an article for the truth.
This
It's
is
his
an
awareness.
article from the Daily Mail, Your Honor.
Yeah, right. I'm asking if his awareness that he was likely
I'll
out.
allow that question.
Thank you.
Okay.
So, Mr. Depp,
Yes, sir.
were you aware that as of October 25th, 2018, about 2 months before this op-ed was published, that it was being reported, as it is in this article, that Johnny Depp is out as Jack Sparrow in Disney's Pirates of the Caribbean film franchise as actor battles financial issues and personal dramas? Were you aware of that?
I wasn't aware of that, but it doesn't surprise me given that 2 years had gone by of just constant worldwide talk about me being this wife beater.
Understood, but you...
So I'm sure that Disney was trying to cut ties to be safe. The Me Too movement was in full swing at that point.
Right, and to the extent they were trying to cut ties to be safe, that was as long as 2 months before you wrote the op-ed.
Objection calls for speculation.
I'll allow it if you can answer it.
I'm sorry, the question?
To the extent that Disney was trying to cut ties with you, as you say, to be safe, that was as much as 2 months prior to you to Ms. Heard publishing the op-ed in the Washington Post, correct?
Objection, lack of foundation.
I'll allow it if you can answer it.
October is 2 months before December. That's correct. But it's odd that they were going to release me from my role as Captain Jack Sparrow, but yet kept me on every ride across the world. In the Pirates of the Caribbean rides, I'm in the Los Angeles or the Hollywood one or whatever it is, 3 or 4 times. Shanghai, I mean, all over the world. So they didn't remove my character from the rides. They didn't stop selling merchandise of Captain Jack Sparrow. They didn't stop selling dolls of Captain Jack Sparrow. They didn't stop selling anything. They just didn't want there to be something trailing behind me that they'd find.
And you aren't aware,
Right.
you said Pirates...
We're going to hit the pause button for a second as we approach the top of the hour, but it gives me a chance to bring in my guest for this hour, prosecutor and Commonwealth attorney Anton Bell. Anton, you can see what the defense is going here. They're not warming up in the bullpen at all. They're going right into the idea that, number one, the allegations in the article, right, don't necessarily amount to all the things he was talking about, as well as the fact that, as far as damages are concerned, he was going to be released anyway, so it didn't have the effect that he said it had. Your thoughts on the way this cross is beginning?
Well, I can definitely see where they're going in reference to the damages. The one part that was kind of making me think a little is this article that they're showing the same as the online article? Because Johnny Depp continues to mention, I have not read this article, but I'm familiar with the online article, which came out a day earlier, which makes me wonder, why isn't the defense just addressing the issue to say it is the same article? They're not saying it, and they're staying away from that. So it makes me question, and if I'm questioning, you got to believe there's going to be some jury members also questioning, because don't forget, he still has celebrity status. And because he has celebrity status, people are going to want to believe him, regardless of what he is saying.
Yeah, I would have to agree. I mean, he's got a commanding voice. It makes you want to pay attention and believe him. Quickly, before we have to go, what advice would you give Johnny Depp as the cross-examination continues? He's done a good job so far, but there is, I see, a little bit of him in terms of contention that could cause a problem later on. What advice would you have for him?
The same advice that I would give any witness on a stand, which is the attorney is doing their job. So please don't get into a catfight with the attorney and don't become combative. Answer the question and answer the question to the best of your ability, because the facts are, if it's truth, then people will see that. If it's authentic, people will see that. But do not get tempted to get into a combative situation with the defense attorney.
Yeah, no question about it, especially in a case where combat or him being combative is at issue, right? So I see some of that in him, but we'll have to wait and see. Anton Bell, man, I wish we had more time to sort of chop this up, but unfortunately, because of the testimony, I didn't have more time, but we'll get you on again soon. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. And we still have much more ahead in our next hour from Virginia and the Depp Heard trial. Hear more of Depp's testimony from his second day on the stand as cross-examination continues when we come back.